up possible tornado, and that will be the nature of Park Elementary School. So again, if you live between Delhi and North Bend right now, that's where the greatest threat from this particular storm is going to be posed. What to admit, there's not a tornado with this storm. If you go up a couple of 100 feet into the atmosphere, winds are screaming tonight at about 80 to 90 miles an hour. And even though you may not have a thunderstorm, seeing a lot of lightning and thunder, any heavier downpours that grow tall enough into the atmosphere can tap those stronger, and you can still get...
Hey everybody, welcome to a combined episode of Quarantine Queen. I wasn't able to film yesterday because as soon as I sat down to record, all the sirens and phone messages went off saying there was a tornado warning, so I decided to just combine the two today. So today is the Pride episode, and we are going to start with Pride 2014. This was our casino's first Pride, and that's why our sign was so basic. We didn't even have a float at the time. I don't know who keeps inviting these hoes, but they keep showing up, and quite frankly, I don't think they're even allowed on the parade route anymore. It was super hot this year. I got my very first sunburn, and now I can kind of relate to everybody who's ever had a sunburn. I used to laugh and like kiki to myself, but now that I got one, I kind of see how it can be a nuisance, especially the peeling, which is super gross. We were right behind the Gay Men's Chorus. They were getting it. They were giving people their lives as well. We might have heard that song a couple hundred times, but it was still cute. They're slowing down. Say something.
To whom? Who am I talking to? Hey, whomever I'm talking to. It's Imani Nicole Diamond. What up, though? Hey, it's Ronnie. I don't even know. Happy Pride. I'm home. Random my bush. Yeah, I'll see you there.
Just had to say that people were definitely living for this bow tie right here. I just have one thing to say. That angle is not flattering. I don't know why I decided to film with that angle. That is the most unflattering angle ever created. Let's go to Pride 2015. They say the first time you're in drag you usually look a mess. But baby, it was the second time for me. So I've had many drag nightmares when I went to sleep, but this one was an actual drag nightmare. I created that entire outfit myself. I hand painted all the fabric to make it look like beef, and I was going for like a meat dress with lobster tail shoulder pads, and I might have had some more food accoutrements going on, I don't remember. But I remember staying up and painting the fabric while watching Breaking Bad. It's just a random memory I have. So, getting into that dress took a lot longer than I thought, which meant that I had even shorter time to put my makeup on. So, I'm at the casino in the darkest bathroom ever created. I don't know why the lighting in there was so dark. Trying to put on my makeup. And I remember coming out hot and sweaty, makeup running and everything. And I run up to my friend Jamie and I'm like, do I look okay? Do I look okay? It was just like a mess. I was frazzled, frantic, everything. And I should not have gone out in public looking like that, but I did. And it was something. In Pride 2016, once again, I made the entire costume. Here are a couple progression pictures of the headpiece that I created by myself from absolute scratch. This parade was right on the heels of the Pulse Orlando shooting, and we were all freaking out. I was even in the back of my mind thinking, like, should I even walk in this? Am I going to be safe? But security was definitely out. They had dogs, soldiers, damn near had tanks going around. We are now walking in the parade. Finally. It's been a long time coming. Security is out tonight. Here comes my favorite part, Fountain Square. So during the parade route, there was a group in front of us, and for some reason they decided to have a little family reunion during the parade, and I'm over here waving this way and waving this way. When I turn back around this way, they're standing right in front of me. And we're going down a hill at this point. I don't know about anyone who's ever walked in 6-inch platform heels. Trying to stop on a dime while going down a hill is not always the easiest thing. So in the midst of me being surprised that they're standing in front of me, and me trying to dodge them, I ended up taking a major tumble in front of a lot of people. One of the things that saved me was the camcorder I'm recording on now, but I was super mad at those people for stopping right in front of me, causing me to fall. You know who you are, you bitches. I ended up getting a small cut on my big toe, and then some scrapes and stuff on my hands. Maybe my elbows, but other than that, I was good. Pride 2017. That was kind of an ordeal. We ended up missing the parade entirely due to oversleeping and other things. One of them being that the parade float we were on ended up being one of the first to leave, which never in the history of the parade route has that happened. So we ended up missing that. And in the midst of me trying to find the float, my wigs fell off in front of all my drag peers, which just sent me over the edge of being humiliated. So I was a little hot and bothered. So we ended up going back to the casino, cool off, regroup, get ready for the festival at Sawyer Point, and everybody was living for that. Pride 2018. There was definitely some ordeals that happened prior to that. It seems like every year something happens for Pride that is like a setback. This year there were several. So the parade is on a Saturday. That Monday of the week, I got bit by a brown recluse. Wednesday I ended up going to a doctor in urgent care to see about that, so they put me on antibiotics. Then Thursday night, I'm sitting there getting the costume ready, and I'm wondering where my scissors are, and I'm, you know, moving my hands around or whatever, and then I stick my hand under my leg, which I happen to unknowingly be sitting on the scissors. So the tip of the scissors split my ring finger right here, and I had to get 6 stitches. Went to the emergency room. My friend Jamie met me there, which he didn't have to, and I'm super grateful for him showing up. I was freaking out because I had to get stitches, and then they also had to give me a numbing shot in my finger. I was so nervous I ended up sweating out the bed, and I know those people were kikiing at me after I left because that bed was drenched. There was also a woman having some troubles in the room next to me, but we're not going to talk about that. That was the first time my mom saw me in drag at the parade, and she was so happy she started crying. I never thought in a million years that she would be my biggest supporter, and I'm forever grateful for that. Pride 2019 was pretty uneventful. I went as the goddess Isis. I was the goddess Isis, and definitely not Cleopatra. Well, that about wraps up this double episode of Quarantine Queen. We'll be back tomorrow with some more. Stay tuned.